The opening of the second movement of the Beethoven A major sonata is quite tricky in regards to rhythm. The constant chain of syncopations combined with grace notes seems to be tricky for all of us. I therefore suggest as a first step that we practice the opening figure without any grace notes to clarify the basic rhythm and its foundation. On top of that, we can then add the grace note, bearing in mind that it's very important for maximum clarity to have the bow pressed before any grace note is played, and the bow also slightly stopped before grace notes are played. Lastly, a very small quantity of bow usage will benefit maximum clarity. The energy level can be heightened if we always have a bit of a speeding up of the bow when we have syncopations. Same thing applies when we have the next surprising passage with a much higher dynamic level. A great deal of bow speed and quantity combined with intense vibrato heightens the energy level. The next appearance of the theme is one octave higher. Nothing will change technically except for the bow placement, closer to the bridge since the dynamic level is higher. The next challenge is the beautiful passage in double stops coming up. And I suggest that we think about playing unevenly with the two hands. The bow will play very soft. The bow will have a piano dynamic, but the left hand will actually play very firmly. And choice of fingering is very important, because if we start this passage in a first position, eventually we have to shift abruptly somewhere much farther away. I therefore suggest that we think about starting in this region and staying in a very small geographical area so we can play more legato and we can vibrate more notes. The last detail worth mentioning is in bar 153 as an example of the kind of articulation that we need to have in the left hand, regardless of what the dynamic may be in the bow. And so in this case we will have a soft dynamic with the bow, but the left hand has to play really triple forte.